Drexel University commemorates its 125th anniversary with a school-wide celebration today. In honor of the event, Drexel is creating a time capsule which will be filled with material showcasing Drexel's rich history. Among the items will be an empty bottle of Dragon Gold beer by Flying Fish founder Gene Muller, himself a school alum, medals, a piece of the basketball court, and a Danville Regatta gold medal.
Now listen to this. I believe Drexel's University's men's crew team may set a record this weekend.
These guys own this event, Danville Regatta. We call it the Drexelville Regatta. We have Coach Paul. Coach, how you doing?
Good.
Is it pressure because you guys won this tournament 3 years in a row?
No, we don't feel any pressure. I mean, everybody starts off even. You don't get a head start for doing well last year.
A new center that celebrates Jewish culture opened its doors today at Drexel University in Philadelphia. NBC 10 was at the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the Raymond G. Perlman Center for Jewish Life.
Well, something new is coming to a fixture on Drexel University's campus. A groundbreaking this afternoon has celebrated the expansion of the Corman Center. An $8 million gift from the Hyman Corman Family Foundation will pay for new lounges and improved open state outside.
How did cargo shorts infiltrate men's fashion? They trace their roots back to the military, according to Drexel University professor Joe Hancock, who wrote his PhD thesis on cargo pants.
The upper echelon of the military did not like the soldiers putting their hands in their pockets. So they got the idea to move the pockets to the side of the garment and keep pockets in the back of the garment, but none in the front.
A new study says one social media platform is helping people who suffer from depression or insecurity. According to researchers from Drexel University, Instagram has become an outlet for people in pain, looking for ways to overcome silence and express their feelings.
You are starting out in Philadelphia, where a new kind of crash test is happening.
One that looks at the microseconds right before the accident occurs and how what you're doing in that instant can help or hurt you.
To do that, Dr. Christy Arbogast and Dr. Sriram Balasubramanian have teamed up to build this swerving back seat.
This is the world's first human volunteer oscillator sled. So we have a set of rails that the occupant compartment moves on. They are supported by bearings, and the whole machine is driven by the electric motors. I'm hoping that we create data that will help design better restraint systems, better crash test dummies, and better simulation models.
Bernard Lambert is a dapper gentleman, but what you don't see, a constant source of agony, and he's just in his 40s now. His chronic wounds have him at Dr. Michael Weingarten's office every week or so. That day of healing now may be much closer for Bernard and millions more just like him, thanks to this odd-looking prototype of a wound healing device using ultrasound.
It's actually a transducer that emanates sound waves, low frequency, low intensity, and that affects, we think, the cellular membrane so that it stimulates the cells to heal.
Train Your Brain to Resist Sweets. It's a computer program developed by Philadelphia researchers, and it's helping people lose weight.
It's a brain training computer game designed to activate the part of the brain that says stop instead of go to certain foods. Evan Foreman, a psychologist at Drexel University, developed the computer program. The dieter responds to a series of pictures, good and bad food, accepting or refusing. It changes and gets faster over time. As people get better at the game, they should get better at resisting the temptation to eat unhealthy food in real life.
Patients who undergo an organ transplant may have an increased risk of developing skin cancer. A Drexel University study found this risk applies to all transplant patients, even Hispanics and African Americans. Researchers say anti-rejection medications, which suppress the immune system, may make organ recipients more vulnerable to the effects of the sun.
And some Philadelphia chefs spent the day in University City showing off their craft at the Chef Conference at Drexel University. Some of the area's up-and-coming chefs got to learn from the pros. This was the final day of the two-day conference.
Chef Mark Vetri cut the ribbon last fall on Eat Cafe, a partnership with Drexel University's Center for Hunger-Free Communities. It's a pay-as-you-can restaurant on the 3800 block of Lancaster Avenue.
It is time now to take you behind the the beauty counter. Professional chemical peels promise beautiful, renewed skin and can cost hundreds of dollars. Less costly at-home peels are available online, but they're tempting. But what could you be sacrificing for savings?
Currently, an FDA advisory panel says when it comes to acids like glycolic and salicylic, a concentration of 10% or less is safe for home use. But 30% or more should be used by professionals. Still, there's nothing in place to stop consumers from buying products with those higher levels of acids. In just minutes, we purchased 6 of them, ranging in price from $15 to $200, and then showed them to ABC medical contributor and dermatologist Dr. Mark Abdemalik.
Do you think this is dangerous?
Absolutely. There are several of these products that are absolutely dangerous to use on your face without supervision.
First sexually transmitted case of the Zika virus. A Pennsylvania resident got the virus out of state, but when that person came home, he or she transmitted the disease to their partner. NBC 10 spoke to a local infectious diseases doctor about what this means for you.
Now know of acquiring it through sexual transmission as well as through blood transfusions. There is a risk for people living in the Philadelphia area who have not traveled.
I have with me someone who is saying just that, David Cohen. He's a constitutional law professor at Drexel University. So let me ask you this. Even some of the most ardent supporters of gun control measures don't go as far as you go. They don't go beyond the background checks and banning specific types of semi-automatic rifles. Why do you go to the repeal of the Second Amendment?
When something's written into the Constitution as a right, we elevate it in our society as something beyond the democratic process.
Drexel University School of Education received a big financial boost today. President John Fry was on hand to accept a grant for $1,200,000 on behalf of the Philadelphia School Partnership Program. It will allow undergrads to get certified to teach middle school math and science in the city while being trained for the unique challenges and opportunities of the urban classroom. The program will graduate 40 teachers a year.
Candidates in the upcoming primary election for Philadelphia District Attorney took the stage. Attorney Thomas Klein moderated the candidate forum at Drexel University. 7 Democrats and 1 Republican are vying to become Philadelphia's top prosecutor. Today's a deadline to register to vote in the May 16th primary.
Technology is always changing the way we learn, including in every level of schooling. A new system in Philadelphia is giving some medical pros in training practical experience through a unique collection of patients. That cough isn't from a student, it came from a computer. Instead of the animated mannequins used for years in medical training, Drexel University uses computer-generated patients.
It lets them make mistakes on a computer screen before they hit real patients, and they get to learn from that.
I've got to show you this. Students from Drexel University, they have been working so hard over the past year building one of these big trends, a tiny house. One of the fresco users, Clifford, showed us the unveiling on campus. Totally cool. They used multi-purpose elements as well as a composting toilet.
Just up the street from the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia, the Academy of Natural Sciences at Drexel University is showing off a one-of-a-kind collection of presidential hair.
How many of us actually get to see a president ever? And this is as close as you're ever going to get to the president himself.
Yeah, I mean, right here in Philadelphia, for example, Drexel University is going through an enormous expansion. Drexel University, like Northeastern University in Boston, they do co-op plans where you go for college for 5 years, but you spend a lot of that time actually working out in the field. That's where the trend is. It's the universities that are not only teaching the kids those skills, but they're getting them out there actually working those jobs so they graduate with skills that employers can use.